I'm just celebrating the fact that I am not sideways. I don't want to touch anything. I'm like afraid to touch anything. I don't want to go sideways. Hello, my friends. Welcome. Sorry, bring it up to desktop. Man, I got a headache right there. Let's see if you can see that bump. I banged my head on a chair. Hey, cat. Who do we have? Hey, Sniper. Evening, Eric. Oops, give me 1 second. Couldn't quite read that.
Mindset. Advocate for your.
Cat says you did good. I did good. Me? I did good. Even Eric, I'll finish my notes. Going to be another lesson in epicness. Nice. Hey, Sniper. I appreciate the care and the details you put into your presentations. Thank you. Thank you for coming up, sharing your lessons with me, with all of us. And again, just for having it so precise. You know what you're going to say. You navigated well and upright. Makes me feel like I accomplished something. That's right. I'm upright. It's always good. So that was a good talk with Miss Flipper, as Kat and I were saying. She always inspires. I love talking to long-term course students. The hexavocal cipher focuses on 6 vowels as a Sugate code. Panavakin, decoding the primal sound, uses the Sanskrit concept pranava, the 4 sound, or Om, to connect to a higher realm. Oh, nice. Hey, Heavenly Star. Heavenly Star, how are your teeth? I asked in the morning, the workout live stream. I'm not sure if you heard. We did a meditation not too long ago, a couple months ago, where we did all the vowels accumulating in the great Om. Wayne Dyer had a great meditation that he got from his guru, one of his gurus, manifesting with sound, using in the morning, the sound of creation. Is the sound of procreation. It's the sound that we after the lovemaking, everything accumulating, everything coming from that sense of release and relief and love. And then in the evening, with gratitude, we do Om. Then he says, we do some breath work. My traptastic Yogi Bear. Man, when you come in complimenting my traps, we can do anything you want, pretty much. He's up for some breath work. It's been a bit. And I feel bad because I promised Marlon breath work yesterday, and I got so lost in the conversation. The stitches are coming out next week. I hope you're not in any pain, Heavenly Bear. I know you were a couple days ago. Marlon, how are you feeling? Give me a little bit of feedback, and we know which way to steer the breath work for the day. So let me know if anyone else is up for some breath work. And again, what pine? JW Balding Bottom Jack says bald bum. I'm not a bum. I'm bald. If anything, if you came in and said bald hobo, that would have been appreciative. That would have been a high compliment indeed, my friend. Hey, Fred. I do work out every day. 7 days a week. Ron says tiny bit of pain and a bit down. Was real anxious yesterday, but better now. I'm glad that you're better. anxious. Let's do the 4-7-8 breath. How are you, Fred? Clearly, I'm a hobo. Bald bum. All right. Marlon, give me a thumbs up if you're ready for the 4-7-8 breath. I am shooting for an hour live stream today. And I'm going to shoot for at least 45 minutes extra sleep. Marlon said 2 minutes. Gotcha. So, actually, Cat and Sniper, if it works out this week, if not, we'll do it next week or maybe over the weekend. Bruce Rollins, Fred says, good, thank you. Sacred Geometry and A Course in Miracles. Symbols, recognizing symbols. The universe is talking to you in symbols, in synchronicities. Deepak Chopra calls it psychosynchronicity. Hey, Lucy. To be able to follow these meaningful coincidences for, again, what he called, and I love this, the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. There's a very specific meditation practice for the spontaneous fulfillment of desire, following synchronicities, getting synchronicities to be more recognizable. And if you know primordial sound meditation, you're halfway there. What you do is you start with your primordial sound meditation, and then afterwards you have another specific sutra, which is a sutra actually the same as stitches. It literally means stitch. You're weaving a story. Thank you, Fred. I will hit the like button. Cat says, well, yeah, man, he was fun to talk to. We've been chatting with him online, and he said, he's another one. He just said, sure, I'd love to come up. Tell me a little bit about your channel. Congratulated me on some of the conversations. All right, Dundee is ready. All right, guys, we're doing the 4-7-8 breath. Did every balding? Just a bum. Just a bum. Hobo. There's a big difference. A little bit of romanticism in a hobo. I have not been to Finland. Guess leave my bum alone. Hobo. Hobo. Let's do it. All right. Thank you, Kat. Here we go. 4-7-8 breath. Let me recompose myself. I need to do some breath work to get myself ready to do some breath work. Nothing romantic, and you're just a bum. Well, it does say just in my title. Fair enough. Here we go. 4-7-8. Journal on JWO if you would like. And Lucy's gonna participate this time. Nice. If you want, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh through the mouth. And let your shoulders drop down. Hands in your lap. Feet on the floor. Grounded. Relaxed. Breathing evenly. We're going to breathe in through the nose for count of 4. Hold for count of 7. Exhale through the mouth. Pursed lips. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. A whoosh sound for count of 8. Nice and slow and even. Before we begin, put some gentle attention on the breath as you breathe in through the nose. Watch your belly rise as you breathe out through the nose. Watch your belly fall. In and out. Every out breath, you're a little more relaxed, a little more at ease, and a little more pain-free if you are experiencing pain in any way. That relaxation is bringing you the ease of letting go of the pain. Going to count to 3. We'll take our first breath. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, whoosh 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoosh 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoosh 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath together for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale the long whoosh 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let the breath go. Let it settle on its own natural and easy rhythm. Still mindful, still watchful of the breath, watching it rise, watching it fall. Relaxed. Letting go of the worries and concerns for the day. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I'll see you in the chat. Thank you, flying lemurs. Lemurs. Which one is it? This shirt is Daniel Construction. And he was one of the early people that I started training when I had my own training business. I trained him, his wife, his 2 sons, who later, right now, they are professional rugby players out of DC. Let's say sing a song for the audience. Come on by on Saturday, and I will definitely sing a song for the audience. PC says, "Slow the sniper." Kat says, "That was good, Yogi. Thank you, and thank you, Marlon, for the suggestion." You know, it's made me realize it's been a bit. Hey, this is the channel that was owned by the homeless guy. I've heard about this. Thought I'd stop by and say hello. So hello. Well, thank you. I always like it when people support the homeless. Lucy says, "Hey, Big Al." So anyway, Jack Daniels Construction. During this, I started my training business in 2004. So I started training him in 2004. And he is the only client I still have. During the shutdown, when I could no longer train people, go to the houses or bring them to mine, this is my father. He said, "Send me workouts and I will support. I will pay what I've been paying, virtual or otherwise." The only money for me that was coming in the entire shutdown was from this client. Guess what? He's still my only client, still supports me. So if you are in the Baltimore, DC area, metropolitan area, and you need some work done, new windows, new door frames, all that stuff, Daniels Construction. Let me know. Quality work. Hey, Sean, thanks for popping in. Just popping in to leave a like and say thank you kindly for the bell this morning, Eric. My friend, much love. Much love to you. And yes, you got it, Sean. Always. Cat says, love you, Sean. I was happy to. This episode's Full Moon Energies. Makes me want to sing Neil Young. Cat says they gotta leave $1 in his cup. Please. Hey TX, welcome back, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Hey. Any questions on A Course in Miracles while we're talking about it? Mary Grimm says, hey Yogi, thanks for checking out my music. I appreciate your commenting and for sending subscribers over. Sure thing, Mary. Mary, let's mod you up if you want to reach out to anyone. You would think for someone who's homeless that your little sanctuary would be like protected. People wouldn't just come barging right in. But no, that's not the case.
No, yeah, sorry, that was my attempt at trolling, Yogi. I give it a good shot.
You did give it a good shot.
No, I wanted to come up and explain why I weren't doing karaoke with you on Saturday.
Jealousy?
Yeah, partly. On a serious note, I saved my neighbour's life.
Oh wow.
He was drinking all day on Saturday. He knocked on my door at about 12 midday and asked me a question, and I could smell the booze on him. I could smell the substances coming from his apartment, and so there. He doesn't go anywhere without his hat, and I noticed he didn't have his hat. So I asked him where his hat was, and he had no idea. He thought it was on his head. When I came into the building, I thought he'd just laid down. I thought he was trying to have a bit of a rest because, like I say, he was drunk. But when I approached him and just said, "Are you all right?" because I was going to joke with him because I get on with him. I was going to joke with him. And then I realised the top of his head was bleeding and he had a visible bump and everything. So he kept getting up and falling over. So I sat him down and phoned an ambulance. But the paramedics said, well done, because one of our other neighbours, she doesn't like him. So she said, oh, you should leave him. Just let him go to bed. And it's like, well, no, he's got head injury and he's bleeding and he's drunk and intoxicated and all that kind of stuff. So I refused. And the paramedics said, no, you absolutely did do the right thing. They said you possibly saved his life because if you'd have just let him go into his flat and let him go to bed and everything, it would have could have ended badly.
Right, I'm sure.
But my point being, like, obviously the military teaches you first aid and stuff like that. I know not to let someone go to bed with a head injury, especially when it's bleeding. That's just common sense, really. But I had also said to our other neighbour, because, like I say, she said, "Oh, just let him go to bed." I said to her, "No, because now that I've witnessed that he's got a physical injury and everything, and a head injury, an open wound, and it's bleeding. There was like a puddle near his head. It had only been like a few seconds, and there was already a puddle there." So I said, "I've witnessed that. If I let him go to bed, I go to bed myself and I forget about the whole thing. In the morning, if he's passed away, I'm hoping, I'm not wishing that upon him, but like the paramedic even said it herself. She said, "No, you did the right thing, absolutely, because it could have gone either way." Had I woken up in the morning and left him, and here, find out that he's passed away, I'm going to blame myself ultimately because I could have done
Right.
something about it, but didn't. So no, I pretty much saved his life. He returned home actually this morning, so he was in hospital since Saturday, and obviously Monday today. So he returned home this morning, and the first thing he did was knocked on my door and said thank you.
Nice. Well done, Big Al.
I
Way to
asked
listen
him. Sorry, go on.
Way to listen to your conscience.
Yeah, like I say, I not only would I have not done that, I would have phoned an ambulance for anybody, stranger, friend, neighbour, whatever. I would have phoned an ambulance because it's the right thing to do. But like I say, it is also the other way. I know about, I've had head injuries in the past, and you're told not to go to sleep and stuff. So, that's exactly it. I wouldn't have wanted him to go to bed, and like I say, in the morning, worst case scenario, I wake up and find out, there's police and ambulance and stuff because he's passed away in the night. I'd blame myself. It's just one of them things. I'm all for helping people. You know me, Yogi.
Right.
I'll help everyone when I can.
Kat says, "Great job, Big Al." Gave you a ovation.
Thank you, Cap. But no, like I say, I'd rather make sure everyone's okay. But I did want to come up and apologise for Saturday because obviously it was a very last minute. I came in, said I'm not staying for the karaoke, stuff like that. I had to leave because obviously, like I said, I'd phoned an ambulance and they had said, stay off
Right.
your phone if possible, so that if we need to call you back, you can take the call, obviously. So I was, not going to be on YouTube. It makes sense not to be,
Yeah.
no
I
offense,
appreciate
but it
you.
makes sense not to be in the chat while I'm trying to pay attention to my phone.
Right. I appreciate you letting us know.
Well, I feel like I owe you at least a reason, because I just came in and said I'm not here tonight.
Right.
I did apologise. I think I'm sure I apologised, but
You did.
I said I won't be here tonight, and kind of left it at that. So I did want to give you a, like I say, a reason as to why I went here. But
Well, we always have this Saturday.
I'll definitely come up. I remembered we are singing John Denver. I'm singing Free Bird to open us for the night.
Free bird. That's
So
me practicing
yep, with the
my lighter
candle.
up in the air.
So no, definitely. I remember. I've got it. I've got the songs. So yep, I'm fine to come up, providing nothing happens this Saturday. I will definitely be there. But like I say, I felt like I owed you and the chat really a reason because I felt like I'd let people down. I came in last minute. I said that I wouldn't, but in all fairness, it was out of my control. My neighbour was in trouble. I wanted to go and help him, so I apologise, but it meant that our plans for the evening that night were a little bit, didn't happen, obviously.
Hey, if you want, it's not Saturday, but if you want to go ahead and sing Freebird now, I'm sure no one would mind.
I'm not prepared in any way, Yogi. I don't have my laptop on or anything like that. I wasn't prepared to come up and sing or anything, so not tonight, if that's okay, Yogi.
Sure.
But Saturday, I'll definitely do it Saturday.
You got it.
Because that's karaoke night.
It is. Lucy came up with 3 songs. And I don't remember how many songs I did. Abigail came up. Richard came up, Mint, with 3 songs. I'm trying to think who else. Who else sang, guys? Do you remember? It was a fun night. But of course, it's never as much fun as it would have been had you been there.
Well, I appreciate that, Yogi. I really do. But yeah, like I say, I owe it to you and the chat a reason, and I will, like I say, I'll definitely be there unless anything happens. I hope it doesn't. but you know, you can't control things like Saturday. That was out of my control. It was either, you know, it was out of my control as in, you know, the incident, but you know, the control I had is ignore my neighbour and come and sing,
Right.
or in my opinion, do the right thing and, you know, apologise and say that I'm not going to be here, but help my neighbour. I think that was, you know, definitely the right decision.
I agree. Agree. Hey, Stitch.
But I'm glad you all had fun. I think I did. I think I did manage to stop by before you ended the stream. It would have been near the end. I know that much because it was getting close to midnight here when the ambulance actually arrived, and I managed to get on my phone. Obviously, because my neighbour had then been taken to the hospital. I then managed to get on my phone and check YouTube, and I'm sure you were live, but you would have been like 5 minutes from ending the stream, I think, Yogi.
Right.
So I didn't bother telling anyone I was back or anything because there was just no point. I would have come up and kept talking for 20 minutes, and then you would have been late getting to bed. So I just felt I'd check. I thought I'd check, and then I left it at that. I went off and I went to bed myself. Actually,
Right.
Spoke to my other neighbours quickly because obviously it had caused a bit of attention. So my other neighbours came out and they were both speaking to me, but yeah, I pretty much went to bed almost as soon as I knew that he was okay and he was in the ambulance and was going to hospital to get checked over. I went to bed.
Well, as Lucy said, she summed it up perfectly. You did what you had to do, Big Al. We understand and we love you.
Thank you, Lucy. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't come up to get attention. I came up to, you know, like I say, I came up to give my reason for not being here and an apology because I felt like it was the right thing to do.
Right. Explanation. I appreciate it.
But yeah, no, like I say, I'm really glad that you all. Sorry, I'm just gonna get Rolo's ball before he starts barking because it's almost 11 o'clock at night here. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad you all still had fun and everything, and I'm glad that obviously me kind of abandoning you didn't mess anything up. You all had
no, it didn't mess anything up, but you know, people did ask about you. So
yeah,
not, you know, it didn't mess anything up. Just know that you were missed.
I appreciate that.
Which is nice. You know what I mean? That
Yes.
you've left such an impression that people notice when you're not here for a night like that.
Yep.
So, yep, you absolutely were missed.
That's you know what, it's really nice to hear. I mean, like I say, I didn't come up for the attention. I haven't come up now to brag and say, oh yeah, I mean, it's a good deed. I had therapy today, and it was the first thing I told her. She asked how I've been, and because the past couple of weeks I've been quite stressed when I've been going to see her. I've just had a lot on my mind, been a lot to worry about. Obviously, when I come up here, I've spoken about a few things, but you know, not being rude, Yogi, you want a therapist, and that's not what the stream is for. You know, I'm not going to come up here every time and talk about my problems. But basically, I just said to her, obviously, because the last couple of weeks I've been seeing her, I've been a bit stressed. She asked how I've been getting on this past week, and you know, like I say, Saturday was the first thing I told her about.
Right, I can understand that.
But yeah, no, like I say, really glad that you all still had fun. I appreciate everyone that misses me. I'm going to repeat myself for the 50th time, but it is a nice little family that we've got going on here. This that Yogi's running a little YouTube family, a nice little corner of the internet where we can all just be friends and have fun. Essentially, especially Saturdays. Saturdays, not to say that the rest of the week isn't fun, Yogi. I apologise, but Saturday is really fun. You know what I mean?
I do for sure.
So no, it's brilliant, and I love and appreciate you all.
Hey,
And the
you know,
fact that you miss
think
me
of my-
means a lot.
I think of my channel as a place to be helpful. Kat and I were talking about that before. There's a wonderful prayer in Course of Miracles that says, I'm here to only be truly helpful. And I take that seriously for my channel. Sometimes being helpful is providing a place where people can come up and just do something fun. They don't care if they sound ridiculous. They're just sharing, spending time together, laughing, singing. That's what Saturday is all about. I'm glad you're part of it, Big Al.
I love that, Yogi. I love you. Thank you. You are really kind.
Speaking of love, Kat says, I love you, Big Al.
Love you too, Kat.
Chris says, Big Al is such a wonderful, kind gentleman.
Who said that, sorry?
Nature's Dog Realm, Chris.
Thank you, Nature Dog. That means a lot to me as well. What was it? Kat's the most beautiful, juicy... I can't remember what I said now. It was a while ago. The most beautiful, juicy tomato in the whole field.
Was it Juicy? Was Juicy thrown in there?
I can't remember. I'm just making it up as I go along.
I think he might have added the Juicy extra.
The most scrumptious, delicious, most beautiful red tomato in the whole field. Ripe was a word I used last time. Ripe was a word I used last time.
Lucy says something very nice. She says, I honestly don't know if I ever would have found my way out of my own ego and misery. Ever since I met Yogi up to now, I see everything differently, and I'm so much happier for it. That's wonderful, Lucy. And it just keeps getting better.
I'm kind of like the Grinch, I think, but it's not related to Christmas. But every time I come to a Yogi stream, my heart gets twice as big as it was before the stream.
I like that analogy. I'm a big fan of the
that's not to say I'm grumpy or miserable or sad or anything, but there's just something about your streams, Yogi, that I don't know, fill me with love and kindness.
Hey, I've been conversation with Kat, and she helped point me in the right direction of looking for success in the right spot. And then you come along, we get that wonderful comment from Lucy, and then you come along and say those words. And Kat was very prophetic that she's absolutely right. That just hearing you say that, Big Al, and just reading Lucy's words, if the only thing that ever happened in my entire career as a live streamer is that you felt better and happier and you were able to make connections and love people, and that Lucy was able to get a little glimpse outside of the ego, that would be enough.
We all love you, Yogi. We all do. It's good that we make you feel. I'm going to use the word content as well. I think is probably a good word to use. Makes me feel brainy when I use words like that.
Right.
But no, I really do love it when we make you feel good as a streamer, because we're kind to you.
It's true.
But as it should be, no one on the internet should be receiving abuse.
I agree,
no
100%.
No matter what, I mean, I don't have a bad word to say about you, Yogi. Really, I genuinely don't. If I could change one thing about you, I would make it so you like mushy peas, but beggars can't be choosers. So I'm gonna have to love you the way you are.
Thank you, Blue Moon. And Kat, Big Al, I almost called you Kat.
I mean, you did call me Kat in all fair. I heard you say that, so I can't escape.
I'm not sure if no one else heard it. It was just between you and I. Hey, Carl.
I mean, if I was as pretty as Kat, then I would definitely show my face on the camera. So there is that going.
Yep, actually, our friend Hollowing with Hammer wanted to know why, since I've only heard you twice, but why is your side of the screen backed out? And I said just because you don't want to show your face.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm quite a shy person. I get anxious when I'm just on the stream with you like this. Right. But we're working on it. The kindness, like I've said before, the kindness of of the comments that I get when we were singing, it almost made me want to flip the camera around. So, who knows? Maybe by Christmas, I'll be on camera with you.
It would be
but-
an awesome Christmas present for everyone if you did.
Yeah, no, exactly. But for now, you're just going to have to put up with me being a blank screen. So I apologize.
Not a problem. Hey, I'm going to answer a question from a friend, Brian. It says,
Yep.
if you could give your younger self any advice, what would it be? I get that question quite a bit, and I always mention I'm not much one for advice. I think sometimes advice can be overrated. I'll take advice when it comes to paying my taxes or what car to buy or what mechanic to go to or something like that. But life advice is always subjective. However, I do like this question because if I could talk to my younger self, I would simply say, relax. It's all going to turn out okay.
Yeah.
That life is not as hard as you think it's going to be. You are not as disappointing as you think you are now. That you are more loved than you could realize. And just relax and relax and relax.
My advice is similar to yours somewhat in the fact that it would be to relax, but not in the same way. Mine would be don't worry about the things that I can't control.
Nice.
Because there's a lot of things in life that I can't control, but I worry about them to the point where I get really stressed. It leads to other problems, but essentially, I just need to, let go of the things that I can't control. I'm going to use the weather as an example. I don't bother with the weather. The weather doesn't bother me. I prefer mild weather. I prefer it when it's quite cold because I can warm up. Whereas in the summer, it's difficult to cool down. So, but my thing, as an example, obviously, is the weather. I can't control the weather, but usually it'd be something that I worry about. And again, like I say, I'm using it as an example. I don't usually bother about the weather, but my point being, things that I can't control, I worry about them. I don't know why I worry about them. I can't control them. So my advice, like I say, would be to tell my younger self, as you get older, forget about the things you can't control because you can't control them, and just worry about the things you can control, like my bills. I again, it's an example because my bills are quite good actually. I found out that I'm 82 pounds in ahead of one of my bills. So I asked them if they could lower it because I'm paying quite a bit of money, and they've agreed. They said, "Well, you are paying an advance each month, so we can lower your overall bill a little bit."
Oh, nice.
So yeah, things like that. But they're the things I can control. So they're the things I should be worrying about. They're the things that I can, I phoned them and said, "Look, I'm paying this amount of money. I'm this far ahead because I checked my account. Is there a way that I can lower my bill? Because there's no need for me to be paying that if it's making me so far ahead." And like I say, they said yes. So that is something I control. However, let me think of something I can't control. The times that the bus runs. I don't take the bus, as you know, I bike. But let's say I get the bus every day. I can't control what time the bus arrives because it's on a schedule. But usually, again, hypothetically, it's something that I would worry about because I worry about things I can't control. Again, I don't know why. It's just something that I do. But
Right.
I would, again, tell my younger self, don't worry about those things. You can't control it. The bus schedule, you can't control that. The weather, you can't control that. However, what you can control is your bills. You can control what you eat. You can control what time you go to bed. They're the things I should be worrying about, not what time a bus is going to get here. Things like that out of my control. But they're things that I do worry about, and I can't help it.
Kat said that Serenity Prayer. Do you know the Serenity Prayer?
No, I don't.
Let me read it to you real quick. This is a prayer that they say in AA and A support groups. This is the most common version. Thanks for that suggestion, Kat. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference, which is what you just summed up.
Yeah.
Hey, old dog. Hey, Blue Moon wants to know if he can see your dog real quick.
Rolo, sit. No, sit. Sit.
And Holland with Hammer wants to know where you're from. Hey, bud. hey.
England. Oh, good boy. Oh.
Man, look at the size of that head. He's going to be huge. Look at those paws.
I'll tell you what about his paws. He needs to watch his stepping. I have some sensitive organs.
Yeah, you better be careful there. So when we were thinking that Big Al was going to reveal himself, we were not quite thinking from this angle. Chris is also cute. Blue Moon says, that dog's so cute. Oh my God, so cute. He definitely made Blue Moon happy, Big Al.
Well, I was stood up, but I thought you could see him better if I sat down and I got him to sit because, yeah, but then he decided he wanted to climb up me.
That's what dogs do.
Yeah,
Hey, sissy.
as he gets older, I'm finding out the hard way that when he was little, or a little bit smaller than he is now, because he's not exactly massive, he didn't have his claws out. He had quite soft paws, and I couldn't hear him tip tapping across the floor. Now I can hear him when he's coming up the corridor towards me, and when he jumps up, he scratches me every time. I've got scratches across both hands.
Hey, Estat wants to know the breed.
He's German Shepherd cross Standard Poodle.
What was the name of that again?
German Shepherd.
No, like the German Poodle. Shepherd
Standard Poodle.
But you know how they come up with a compressed name?
Oh yeah, he's Shepherdoodle.
Shepherdoodle. That's what I thought. Let's see.
Yeah, I should have called him Shadow because he follows me everywhere. Not that it's a problem. I do like the fact that he follows me around sometimes.
Right.
There are other times where I wish he wouldn't follow me.
I can imagine.
I've fallen over twice because of him, but it's because the first time he went right under my foot. As I took a step, he decided, oh yeah, that looks like a fun place to lay, and he laid underneath my foot. So what I did, so I didn't put all my weight on him, I kind of let myself fall over. My foot went onto him because obviously I'd already gone to take the step, but then I just let my back foot, if that makes sense, give way. So I kind of put a little bit of my weight on him, but all of my weight went on the other leg and I ended up falling over. And then the second time was my own fault. I'd got up in the middle of the night for a drink and I thought it was, well, at the time I thought it was sensible. But to stop him from barking, because every time I come through, obviously he wants to, like, he likes to follow me around and bark and everything at me.
Right.
I thought it'd be sensible to leave the light off so he didn't know I was there. However, that went in his favour because I didn't know he was there. So I took a step back and fell over him.
Hey, Holland with Hammer says, oh, cool. Oh, okay, cool. I was stationed there years ago. Ralph Welford.
That may be one of the air bases that's decommissioned. I don't know about that base. I was stationed at RAF Waddington, RAF Coningsby, RAF Scampton, Cranwell, and Lossiemouth in Scotland.
How'd you like Scotland?
It was cold. It was colder than England.
It's
They get a lot of. They get a lot of the wind. They get a lot of the wind from the, like Norway and places like that up there.
Right.
So it's a bit colder, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's to be fair, it was the first time I'd been there, so it was a different scenery and stuff like that. But I do much prefer being in England. If I'm going to
Alan
be,
says,
no,
well, I've been to everywhere you mentioned. Did you say your age?
I'm 29.
Carl says Scotland is nicer than England.
Um,
Sniper said the Irishman.
I prefer England, but it's not to do with because it's nicer or anything. I think it's my home country, isn't it? And I think I'm quite patriotic, so I think my own country's not better. I wouldn't say better. I just
It's
prefer
yours.
England.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've got nothing against Scotland. I've got nothing against Scottish people. As you know, I got on quite well with Chloe and Matty, as evidenced by the chat when I'm there and the fact that Chloe's laughing at everything I say. But yeah, no, I just do prefer my own country.
Sure. I've often thought that I'd love to live anywhere in the UK. Lucy
Yeah,
says
I
she's
mean,
an Irish lass by blood and spirit. Sniper says the history of Great Britain is in the West, Wales.
yeah, I mean,
You been to Wales?
yeah, I weren't stationed there, but I went to RAF Valley, which is where the Mac Loop and everything is in Wales.
Hey, did my British friends know what fell running is?
I've never heard of it. I'll be honest.
It's racing, sort of like ultra running, and you do ultra running distances, which is 50K or more. And it is you basically just racing up the side of a mountain, and then you might follow a ridge for a while, and then you race back down the mountain.
Right. Okay.
They have wonderful runners. Some of the best runners in the world are the mountain runners, the fell runners, FELL, in Great Britain.
It sounds similar to something I did in the forces. In fact, we probably did it, but called it a different name. While I was in the Air Force, we did a what is it? It's the Three Peaks, but we only did one, but we ran up one side, we ran along the top of it, sort of, and then we ran down it again. That kind of sounds like obviously what you've just said.
Yep.
But we didn't call it fail racing or anything. I'm sure it had a different name when we did it, or we just called it something, whatever. Because obviously it's PTIs that lead, obviously, physical training like that. So I'm sure they called it something else. Because I've never heard that before.
Probably a select. There's a great book on it. It's called Feet Above the Clouds. Great book. One of my favorite running books of all times.
Yep.
So here's the AI overview. Fell running involves off-trail and often unmarked navigation over rough, steep, and potentially mountainous terrain, emphasizing navigation and core strength. In contrast, trail running uses designated paths and marked routes through various terrains, including hills, but typically with more defined and less wild conditions. So fell running is a little more wild.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we've done something definitely similar. Like I say, they maybe called it a different name.
Hey, Adam.
It could be that, or it could be that, or I'm misremembering. But I don't think I'd ever heard of it. So, just going to answer. No, I'm not going to answer it because my chat's frozen. Someone asked me a question earlier. Hollering with Hammer said he's 47 I'm assuming hollering with hammer is a male. I apologise if not, but I called you a he, so sorry. But asked if I'm open to any questions. I am open to any questions, but I'm not going to take over Yogi's stream. So, yeah, check out my community posts, and you can ask me questions there if you want to.
If you want to ask you a question, that's fine. I'm actually going to be live for. I said I was going to make an hour or so, and we're coming up at 50 minutes, so you may as well hang out for a bit.
Okay, fair enough.
Hammer, if you have some questions for Big Al, if anyone has questions for Big Al, I'm happy to answer them. What do you think of that, Big Al?
Yeah, let's go for it. I'll let you
Yeah.
answer my questions. That sounds fun, actually.
I will answer all questions concerning Big Al. Let's go ahead and have them.
I will be very. I'll be one, shocked, but I'll also be two, a little bit worried if you guess any answers correctly. If you I don't know, if the first question is what size shoe am I and you guess correctly, I'll be slightly worried, concerned.
Well, now European sizes are different than American sizes. American, we go like size 9, but yours are in, I guess, metric. I'm going to say that you are 42.
Okay, what size is that in our sizes? Do you know?
And your sizes would be 42. European
Right, okay.
size. Am I correct?
Well, I'm a size 8, so
Size 8. So that would be 40. So I was
Right,
off by
okay.
2.
right.
Right. So, where was it? Holland with Hammer says the question I had was: is PTSD something together to deal with?
Well, you're answering it, Yogi.
Well, the question I had was PTSD something that Big Al had to deal with. I know that Big Al is dealing quite successfully with some issues, and I believe PTSD is one of them, right?
It is.
And I am going to stay with that. That you're dealing with it quite successfully, although you probably might say that you have your ups and downs. But overall, my friend, you're doing remarkably well, in my opinion.
Yeah, overall, I will agree. Overall, I'm getting the help. I asked for the help. They gave me a lot of praise for approaching and asking for help, because a lot of people will complain about problems, and then they are offered the help and they say no, and it's like, why are you saying no when you went and complained about the problem? Whereas I'm the type that will complain about a problem, i.e., complaining to people I'm struggling with my mental health. I get referred to a person. They go through some questions and give me some advice, and they say, would you like, X, Y, and Z? I'll say yes, and they refer me on, and, well, as you just said, I'm getting the help because I've asked for the help, because I want the help, and because I need the help, because I couldn't cope on my own. So, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Yogi.
The Moon says, Big Al, is he a good dance? Is he a good dancer? And what is his favorite TV show? Big Al is an excellent dancer. He has actually performed in many ballets since early on in life, and his favorite TV show is Benny Hill, and has been since he was a kid. How did I do?
Both of those are incorrect statements. I don't watch TV at all. I don't watch TV at all. That's just and ballet. I boogie a little, but I don't really dance.
Have you ever watched Benny Hill? Does everyone in England watch Benny Hill?
I've seen it because I've got my stepdad's considerably older than me, obviously. And he watches. Sometimes he watches all that kind of stuff. I mean, like I say, I don't watch TV, so not here. But when I was younger, a teenager, really, we used to watch things like Only Fools and Horses, Benny Hill, and going all the way back as well. We had Bravo. I don't know whether you had Bravo in in the US. But
think so.
Bravo was a channel. Bravo was
Yes,
a
yeah.
channel in the UK back when we had NTL. That takes me back, and we used to have like American stuff on there. So you had the A Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, things like that. But then you had like things like Ultimate Force. I don't think you'll have Ultimate Force over there.
No.
Um,
So Howling with Hammer says, "Okay, Al, I'm in the same boat. Do you work your version of VA, or that's Veterans Assistance, or no? I did not use the VA. I found running as one thing to help me with. And if I'm going to continue answering, that you do work with your veteran service, but you also do other things separate from that to help yourself feel better, such as biking and playing rugby."
Yeah. Yeah. On the tail end of that, you're correct, Yogi. I'll just add that I don't work with them anymore. Not so closely anyway, because they're not very helpful. So they only really help if you contact them, and it's just a bit. It's a bit wrong the way they work it. Because, like I say, they don't approach you for anything. You have to literally, if you want something, you have to go to them. And it's a bit wrong because they get the funding to be able to help people, but they refused to fund me. They refused to let me give me a loan to borrow a mobile phone. I didn't have a phone at the time, and they wouldn't give me the funds to get a phone. You have to pay it back. It's a loan, obviously, but they wouldn't do it. They said no because I didn't have anyone that could vouch for me that I'd pay it back. But I did have people that could vouch for me. There was people that had referred me to them that could vouch for me. So yeah, I don't work so closely with them at the minute.
Right. So Howling says, "Hopefully that question didn't upset you. I mentioned a base I was stationed in England, and you mentioned that you were stationed as well. The PTSD question was from the heart, brother."
No, didn't upset me. I'm quite happy to answer questions. I'm quite honest, as Yogi knows. I will, if anything does bother me, I will say. I'm not the type that holds on to something. I will just be straightforward and say. I will either say I'm not answering it because it's too personal, or I'm not answering it because it's harmful to my mental health, or I just won't answer it because I don't want to.
Sure.
But no, I'm happy to answer most questions.
And I am happy to answer most questions about Big Al too. So if anyone has any more questions, let's keep it rolling, guys. I'm actually impressed with my Big Al knowledge. Let's see. In lieu of any questions, I'm going to let you all know that Big Al is approximately 5'7".
Correct, Yogi.
And he weighs, I don't know if I can put it in metric offhand. He weighs about 62 kilograms.
A little bit more, Yogi. 65.
And Big Al is almost completely bald except for some fringe of hair around the crown of his head that go all the way down to, he's got a very, very hairy back. As a matter of fact, he was given the name in the service Afghan not because he served in Afghanistan, because people thought that he had an Afghan sweater on when he had his shirt off. How did I do with that one?
Now that's it's funny, but it's wrong.
That's wrong. Okay.
It's very wrong. I've got a full head of hair, but I've got short hair. I have it quite tidy, as I call it.
Carl says I wouldn't be able to answer some questions about him, but I could answer. Did you know that Carl has an amazing singing voice? Very, very soft but very soothing singing voice. Carl likes to watch cricket and motorsport.
That's fascinating. Fascinating. I like some motorsport. I'm not an F1 fan at all, but I do like British Touring Car Championship. I used to watch quite a bit of NASCAR. I quite enjoy NASCAR. I know it's the wrong reason, but mainly for the crashes, because there can
Right.
be some great crashes in NASCAR. There can be some great crashes in a British touring car actually. But it's like the only one that I watch now. I used to like watching Moto X as well, and the Moto GP, but I find them a bit boring now. Not because there aren't many crashes, but it's just the same thing, isn't it? They're just going around the track. Nothing changes. Where
Sure.
at least with the British touring cars, every race is slightly different because people will have issues with their cars, so they start in a different position, or the battles at the front of the pack are epic. And whereas, not to be rude, but NASCAR is just going in a circle, well, an
Right.
oval. But it's I find it a bit boring now. But I find the F1 boring because there's not competition in that. You know what's going to happen. You know who's going to win.
Right. So Cocos wanted to know from Mint, what kind of movies do you watch, Mint? And obviously, I can't speak for Mint, but I can speak for Big Al. Big Al prefers to watch teenage age movies, especially the one where the girl gets the makeover and ends up at the school dance, and she is asked to dance with the the prom king, and it always has a happy ending. Am I right about
Yep,
that?
that sounds about right.
I thought so. What
As
football
well
team
as well as
does?
that, as well as that, Yogi. I obviously like war movies. I like horrors, thrillers, but I'm not. I like horrors if they're scary. I can't watch a horror or a movie that's meant to be a horror, and it doesn't make me at least jump a couple of times. If I'm sat
And
there,
westerns.
sorry,
And westerns. Big Al likes westerns.
I
He's
do
a
like
John Wayne
westerns.
fan.
Yes. I do like westerns.
The Moon says, "What football team does Big Al support?" Then ask him, Eric. Big Al does not support football. Big Al says rugby. And how dare you ask him that?
Football's for women.
See, I got that right.
Rugby and American football are similar, but rugby's played by men.
There you go. Kat says maybe Big Al hasn't seen all the tracks for NASCAR. It's not all just circular tracks and all those things you talked about. You can find a NASCAR race. This is a subject very important to Kat. She lives right by a NASCAR track.
Fair enough. Hollering with Hammer has just said NASCAR is like a road course now. Like I said, I used to watch them, so I'll have watched it back when it was just ovals and stuff. I haven't seen anything recently. I used to watch the Australian thing. I can't remember what it's called. That's on a lot of road courses, but again, I got bored of it. But no, I'm if someone said, oh, like Hollering with Hammer just said, there's now a lot of that's it, Squirrel, Green Bay. But no, Cat and Hollering both said that obviously there's a lot of road tracks and stuff now. I'm open-minded. I'd be willing to take another look and see if I can get into it again.
Sure.
It's just back when I was a kid, it was a lot of just oval, and it does get a little bit boring. It's just repetitive. I'm not trying to be rude to Americans or anything. It's my personally.
Percolated Fish says, Big Al, have you ever seen a dirt race? And keeping with the answers, that Big Al has never seen a dirt race, nor will he ever. Big Al is actually very fastidious. He's very neat, and he will not appreciate anything termed a dirt race. Dirt should be kept outside at all times. Am I right about that?
Yes, Yogi, yes.
Thank you. Hey, Kat, do you have any questions for Big Al? There you go. Haystack puts in the broom emojis. He knows what we're talking about.
Yogi, on a serious note, I have actually seen a dirt race once.
Have you?
I've also seen the ride on lawnmower race as well. That was quite fun.
Oh, wow, interesting.
But
Does
again,
Big Al have a brother or sister?
The lawnmower race is quite unique the first time you see it, but it gets boring very quickly.
And yes, Big Al does have a brother, and I believe he also has a sister.
I do. Yep.
Man, I pay attention. I pay attention to my friends.
You do indeed. No, yeah, I do have a brother and a sister. I also have a stepbrother.
Carl says rugby is a dangerous sport.
Can be.
Snipers. Oh, Sissy says tractor pulls and monster trucks are fun. My cousins used to do horse pulls. They had the big Clydesdale horses.
Yep. Enemy at the
Um,
Gate. Richard says Enemy at the Gate is his second favorite film. That's a good movie.
I don't know if I saw that.
It's Jude Law. He plays a Russian. He's a sniper in that. Vasily. Someone help me with his surname, but his first name's Vasily. He's a sniper, a Soviet sniper. In the Second World War, things like that. Like I say, it's Jude Law. It's a good movie if you get chance. If you're into that kind of stuff, Yogi, I don't think you are. If I'm honest, are you? But if you ever get a chance and you're up for something different, definitely recommend it.
Holleran says, Big Al, you're missing out on dirt racing in America. I used to rate dirt modifieds before my kids were born.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's sounds fun actually.
Carl says, I'll go up on a panel sometime. That would be awesome, Carl.
Yeah, we'd love to see you up here, Carl.
Hey, you know what we'll do sometime, Big Al?
Go for it, Yogi. We're
going to switch this around. And next time you come up on a non-thing a night, you can do the answers for me.
Okay,
people can ask you questions about me, and we'll see what you know.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Will Big Al dress up as Halloween night? What would he be wearing, Yogi? Big Al will dress up Halloween, but you won't know that he's in costume because he's going to be an undercover Big Al.
If I can get a mask, if I can get a mask from somewhere, I will come up on the panel and show my face, and I quotation marks that because it won't be my actual face. But if I can get a mask, I'll come up on the panel and yeah.
Speaking of Halloween, Chris is coming up. Nature's Dog Realms, and we're doing our October show of singing TV theme songs. We're going to do Halloween songs. It's going to be Halloween themed. We're going to have kazoos. If I can get around to order myself a kazoo. Chris is already practicing. She's already mastered the kazoo.
Okay. Yep.
I haven't even gotten mine yet. That Mint says, when is it? Oh, wants to know when Carl's birthday is. Carl says he can't wait for his birthday. It's coming up. I know that.
Adam asked me a question, but I'm not. It's me that can't understand it properly. It's nothing to do with Adam. It's myself. It's put Big Al. You're not trying to be rude, but you say girls play professional baseball. I don't know what he means. I didn't say anything about girls play professional baseball. I was talking about football, soccer. It was a joke aimed at footballers, soccer players, really, not actually being sexist or anything. It was not against girls. It was against footballers. I actually, the women's football is actually more entertaining than the men's. They don't go down and play injured half as much.
Let's see. Hey, Lady Sky, how are you, my friend? Chris says she sent me an email. I will check before bed. Chris, thank you. Mint says football is for
cats.
Yes. Thank you for modifying that.
I was ready. I saw that and I was like, Yogi's not going to read that part.
Good night, Carl. Carl, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm happy to know that you might come up on the panel sometime. Lady Sky, are you feeling better? All right, we got time for 1 or 2 more questions for Big Al.
Do you have any questions for me, Yogi?
Do I have any questions for you? But I think I know everything. I think I know everything about Big Al, so it's hard for me to think of a question.
Fair enough. Whatever you ask me, I was going to say you need to answer it because you were answering the questions. So it was kind of a trap. I was hoping you'd ask something difficult to answer, because then I was going to switch it quickly and go, well, you're answering the questions, Yogi, so you need to.
Actually, I do have a question for you that you can answer. Do you like to read?
I do. I'm currently reading Dave Grohl's autobiography.
Whose?
Dave Grohl, the singer of
Oh,
the Foo
okay,
Fighters.
yep. Uh-huh.
There's a few questions for you to answer, Yogi.
All right, let me dive right in here.
I think I
Kuka
saw
says,
4 questions.
Al's favorite color is plaid. That is the color of his kilt, actually. And what else do we got? Big Al, everyday footwear, boots or sneakers. Big Al wears nothing but clogs because it matches his kilt. Let's
I
see.
think I think if you're answering these questions seriously, Yogi, you would actually get these answers right.
So what was your favorite color? Blue.
No,
No? What's the favorite color?
yellow.
Yellow. And you wear sneakers, tennis shoes, not boots. Although you have boots from your military days, and they are spit shine clean.
I'm wearing boots right now, Yogi.
Are you?
I wear boots quite a lot. I do wear my trainers or sneakers often, but right now, today, I'm wearing cargo bottoms. So I'm wearing boots.
Military boots?
No, not particularly. They're just
Okay. Cool. You're gonna have to answer this one. Halloran says, "Say Big Al, does Dave mention? Did Dave talk about the band Scream? He was in DC. Hey, are you in the DC area, Halloran?
I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know. I'm not that far into it, if I'm honest. I've just been reading Jack Ryan.
Richard says, thong or mankini, Big Al? Freestyling for Big Al. He is a man that cannot be. He's a man that cannot be contained. He likes his
Now,
freedom.
I'm seriously going to answer that question, Yogi. Years ago, back when I was in college, I had Facebook. And I had a friend called Lauren who had a friend called Becky. And Lauren and Becky had a thing for Borat. So I put my foot in it because I'm good at opening my mouth when I shouldn't. And I basically was bet that I wouldn't dance in a mankini on Facebook to a song of their choice. So I did it.
What was the song?
I think it was Dark Horse by Katy Perry.
Huh.
Things like that I tend to remember because it was rather embarrassing.
Big Al or Blue Moon wants to know what kind of Christmas dinner does Big Al have? It's a mushy pea festival. Nothing but mushy peas. Mushy peas that are actually molded in the shape of a ham, served with a side of mushy peas, and then some mushy peas for dessert. Did I get that right?
If I could eat mushy peas with every single meal, then I actually think I might.
Big Al wants to know if you are Blue Moon wants to know if you're still on Facebook. And no, he is not on Facebook any longer. He does not do social media except for YouTube.
Correct.
Holland is there and often. I'm a truck driver, but I grew up in the area. I'm currently in New England. I'm in between Baltimore and DC, Holland. Hey, Holland, I'm going to go ahead and mod you up, my friend. You've been coming in the last couple of nights. I appreciate your contribution. And by the way, thank you for your service.
I'm
And
going to
hey,
answer
Big
a
Al,
question by. Sorry, go on.
thank you for your service. You were there on behalf of the United States of America. So thank you.
It's funny, Yogi. I'm not going to go into the politics and everything, but and thank you for thanking me. But I was explaining to someone today how the Falklands have always been British. They've always belonged to the United Kingdom. I won't go into all of that. Obviously, it's not the place, but
Right.
yeah, it's just you mentioned. Obviously, we were there on Afghanistan on behalf of America, but yeah, I've been educating people today on the Falklands because a lot of Americans don't know about the Falklands. And again, that's
I
not
remember.
me. That's not me being horrible. Again, I'm just saying Americans actually themselves in a comment section were admitting that they don't get taught about it, which I'd expect they don't because it didn't involve any other countries. It was
Right.
Argentina and Great Britain. I don't think any other countries were really involved. I think France was involved, and because they gave missiles to us, I think, and America. Well, the CIA were involved in an intelligence way. Obviously, that's what the CIA is. But I'm sure that was the only way the people were involved. There was no other, there was no boots on the ground from America or anyone else. It was literally us against the Falklands, the Argentines. Sorry. Yeah, a lot of Americans admitting that they don't get taught about it, and like I say, it makes sense. We don't get taught about a lot of things that go on in America because they don't concern us, obviously.
Yeah. Didn't one of the royals serve in the Falcons?
Yeah, and this is where it gets embarrassing for me because I can't remember who it was.
Well, as long as I know I was remembering. I don't remember who it was, but I know it was someone. So thank you for confirming that.
It may have been Prince Philip. May have been. I can't remember. I'm sure Squirrel will know.
Yeah, Squirrel says Andrew, and so does Richard says Andrew.
Oh, Andrew. Oh,
Interesting. I just
Prince
remember that. I
Philip.
do remember Falkland.
Prince Philip also served as well. I don't think that was the Falklands, then that would have been probably World War II, if I'm honest, actually. Prince Philip, because he's old enough, isn't he?
Yep. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up and go to bed, unless we got one more question for Big Al. I'm happy to answer.
Well, I'm going to quickly answer a question that we missed from Squirrel earlier.
Sure.
Asked if I could buy any model, what would it be? So Yogi, answer it.
Any model, what would it be? It would be the replica of fighter. I don't know the names of them. Replica of a fighter jet from the Korean War era.
Okay. I'm thinking,
close?
yeah. I'm thinking. So it'd be something like an F4 Phantom then.
There we
If
go.
we're talking in American, I don't know what we were using back then. It's a bit. My history is a bit
Did Britain
all over the shop when it comes to things like that
did
because
Britain
obviously
participate in?
I don't think we did. We did in South Korea in that conflict. We did South Korea. We because there's a medal that people are eligible for at the minute from participating in the South Korean conflict. But the Korean War isn't something that I know a great deal about. I know quite a bit about World War One, certain battles and things like that. When the first tank was introduced, what the first tank was called. I know quite a bit about World War Two. I know about the Crimean War, the Charge of the Light Brigade, stuff like that. That's all stuck with me. I know a little bit about the Boer War, but that's about as early as I can go. The Boer War because I don't know much. I know nothing about the Napoleonic Wars or anything like that. I don't really remember much about the Battle of Hastings. I know there was 1066, but that's about all I remember.
What about American Revolution?
No, I don't know a great deal of that, Yogi.
Which side were
I
you
don't
rooting
know a
for?
lot about. Sorry,
Which side were you rooting for?
I don't know. I don't know what the sides were fighting for.
Well, it was us against Britain for independence.
Oh, okay. So you called it the Revolutionary War. I thought that was separate to the War of Independence.
Yeah, we call it the Revolution.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, obviously, I think I was rooting for our guys, or would have been if I'd been alive back then. It's funny, and I've got a joke, and it comes from a comedian called, and obviously the people from the UK that are watching will know who I'm on about. But he did one of his stand-up tours, and there was a bloke in the crowd who was from America, and he asked him his name, and I can't remember. I think the guy was called Neil, and Al Murray said, "Oh, beautiful British name." And then he said something about, "Oh, you see the War of Independence as being free from the British." He says, "But we see it as a lucky escape," and that just stuck with me because I find that quite a funny thing. And I'll be honest, and again, nothing against yourself or anyone else here. Some Americans make me question your education system. And
No
that doesn't
offense.
go for every American. Please don't take offense. That's not every American. But I see certain. I mean, I've seen some comments from English people, Scottish people, Welsh people, people from the UK, and it makes me think, oh wow, what must the world think of us? But I've seen some comments from Americans, and it does make me want to question why your fellow countrymen and women make you look so silly sometimes, because there are some really odd questions asked. Some stuff
Right.
that's doesn't really matter, but and I know you get it from all over the world. A lot of people will be a bit silly and make their country look a bit, or make the people at least look a bit dumb. But there are certain things, and I wonder what's wrong with the American education system sometimes.
I can understand. All right, our last question. Blue Moon says, I asked Miguel what was the color of the mankini and did he like wearing it, Eric? And the answer was, again, his favorite color, plaid. And as far as did he like wearing it, he's still wearing it to this day. So, of course, he loved wearing it. Yes?
Yep.
Alan says, well, my sister and her family currently live on Jim Davis Road. Man, that's a nice area. Right outside of DC. I guess Georgetown is considered DC. Falcon says, but I do love America.
I don't have a problem with America. I have a problem with the people in America.
It's the Americans. It's the Americans that get on my nerves.
Exactly.
Says
No, but
on
a serious note, I do want to clear the air and say I don't have a problem with Americans. I don't have a problem with America. Just certain people, you see things and you go, "What is wrong with that person?"
Right.
It's the individual, isn't it? It's not everyone. It's the individual. It's like I was reading something earlier. Okay, so I watch a lot of reactions. I've just discovered a new channel. I can't remember the woman's name because, again, I've only just discovered the channel. But she's Spanish. She's originally from Spain, and she was reacting to something. Trooping the Colour, actually, she was reacting to. And one of the comments was, "Why did you check your phone?" Because she Googled what Trooping the Colour is about. But she Googled it while the video was playing. So I half get the guy's comment, but I half don't agree with his comment. But he basically said, "Why check your phone halfway through and Google while you're reacting to the video? You're going to get stupid comments like this." And she replied and said, "I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm not from England and all that kind of stuff. I'm Spanish, so I didn't understand what Trooping the Colour was for and all that kind of stuff." You kind of want to know what the video you're reacting to is about. So I get it. So I commented to her saying, "Please ignore him and don't let his attitude you know, make you think that we're all like that. Some of us are quite pleasant because we are. You know, I don't click on the video and call someone out for checking something because, like I said, she's reacting to a video. I want to know what she's reacting to. You know, I don't
Right.
just want her to sit there with a blank stare on her face because she doesn't understand it. So I don't have a problem with her Googling while the video's playing because, like she said, she's not from England. She's from Spain. She didn't know what Troop in the Colour was about. She's reacting to the video. So, you know, let her Google what it's for so she knows what she's watching. Like I say, I just commented and said, don't let him, you know, please don't think that we're all, you know, like that one person because he had a go at you.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we're gonna wrap things up.
Yep.
But before we do, let me just mention what's going on so far this week. Tomorrow, I got a teacher coming up, the Rational Man Ricky. He is coming up to talk about the connection between, if there is one, the Bible. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but A Course in Miracles. He's going to make the correlation between the two. It's going to be an interesting subject. He's been practicing Course in Miracles since 1999. And Wednesday, Snipers coming up Wednesday evening. Thursday,
Yep.
Going to be pulling cards. And I'm not sure who's coming up exactly yet on Friday, but it is either YouTuber who has a wonderful Course in Miracles channel, Brittany, or see if I can remember his name, Bruce Rawls, who is going to do numerology and A Course in Miracles together. So that's going to be good. Not numerology, sacred geometry. So that's and then Saturday we're singing.
Sounds very entertaining. I'm going to answer. Well, I don't know. Blue Moon wants you to answer the question, but I was going to answer it. But I'll let you answer it, and then I'll tell you whether you're right or wrong. Blue Moon asks if I like USA people.
Yes. Not all of them, but some of them. The same with you don't like everybody who's from England.
I don't. There's people that I despise from here.
So Big Al is all inclusive in those that he likes and in those that he doesn't like. Doesn't matter where you're from. He has his own reasons for liking or disliking you.
Yeah,
Am I
I
correct?
don't judge people on skin color, race, religion, whether they're a vegan, whether they've got blue hair, whether they're bald, live in a basement, wear glasses and yellow t-shirts. I don't judge people based on all that stuff.
Of course
I
not.
base it on I base it on your personality, your attitude towards myself and others around. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people, and if I do have a problem with a person or an individual or people, I'll make it clear to them because I don't hold on to it. I tell people what I think of them. You know, I love Cat, I love Richard, I love Squirrel, Blue Moon. You're a fantastic friend. You know, Lucy, magnificent. Hollowing with Hammer. I've only met you tonight, but you seem like a brilliant chap. But that Yogi guy, oh, he does my head in. I can't stand the fella.
I got some problems with him too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just, oh man. We'll talk about that another time, Yogi. We'll have a big discussion about him because he's got some problems. He really has.
He does.
Speaking of the American education system, he makes me think there isn't one sometimes because some of the stuff he comes out with, it's just like, yeah, you were homeschooled. You've got to have been.
He had to been. Actually, probably not even homeschool. Probably.
Not-
Hey, Gravity Core. Mark is here. Hey, Vicky. All right, guys. I definitely got to wrap things up. Gonna get to bed. I will see everyone tomorrow. You gonna be around tomorrow, Big Al?
Should be, yeah. I'll try and get in to at least one of the streams, probably the later one, because I've got appointments throughout the day tomorrow.
Right. Well, we
And
keep a lookout for you.
various things. I'm seeing a friend for coffee as well. That would be fun. I enjoy seeing her, and well, we both enjoy seeing each other. But and then I've got appointments before that. I'm seeing her for dinner and a drink, and appointments afterwards. But like I say, I'll probably get into the evening one, Yogi.
Okay. Keep an eye out for you.
It's slightly easier for me to get into the evening ones. In fact, I just realised my parents might be coming down tomorrow night when my stepdad finishes work. So if they do, then I won't be in the evening one. But if they
Okay.
don't turn up, then I'll be here.
Sounds good. All right. Falcon says, "Sweet dreams, jelly beans." See you,
Sleep
Falcon.
tight,
Thanks for
don't
hanging
let
out.
the bed bugs bite.
All right. We're signing off now. Guys, thanks again for coming in. Big Al, thank you for coming up and joining me. It was fun.
Thank you for having me. Love you. Good night.
Yep. Take care.
Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.